Hey guys, it's you here. So today the tutorial I'm going to be doing is on a very popularly requested subject, and that is hair. Yeah. So I've already made a tutorial on how to draw faces. So if you guys need any help with that, I will put a link somewhere on screen right now. But other than that, let's get started. Okay, so to start us off, I drew a few faces. um, they look a little derpy right now. Like, I gotta admit, this one kind of looks like an egg. But, anyways, like, trust me, they will look a lot better after I'm done drawing the hair on, and when they're like not bald. So yeah, I figured that the best way for me to do this is to talk about it as I go, because hair has always came pretty naturally for me. And these three are actually from a manga I am working on right now called When the Stars Misalign. I will put a link to it in the description down below once I am done. But yeah, since they all have pretty different hairstyles, I thought this would be a good chance to do some character sketches while making a tutorial for you guys. And this is actually going to be unscripted, so sorry if I say like a lot of ums or if I stutter, but enough talking. Let's get started. I'm going to separate this tutorial into two parts. So the first parts will be talking about bangs, and I'm not sure if I spelled it right, but yeah, and the second part will be talking about the actual hair. All right, so before I start talking about bangs, I just want to talk about hairlines a bit. Like what I consider hairline is like, like this top part here. And I feel like hairlines are very important because it's where like the hair of your character is originating from, right? And for me, it normally starts, on the top of the skull. And normally when I'm drawing, actually, I don't draw like this like ridiculous looking dome thing, because I can already visualize where the hairlines are, right? But as most beginners are, like, it's safer to just draw them. Like, I know they look really bad, but it helps. So I'm gonna talk about the three most basic type of bang slash split thing. So I'm gonna do the fringe, the straight cut, and the side swept. So starting with this character on the right, I will start off with the fringe. Okay, so the fringe is probably my favorite type of thing to draw because it's so easy. As long as you got a hairline down, then you have your fringe, because fringes start like essentially like right at a hairline, but they can also be a bit tricky because you can see the hairline itself. What I normally do is I pinpoint like where the middle is, and then I start it off there. All right, what I normally do for the part where it touches the hairline is that I like to draw like little I don't know what I would call them, like they're almost kind of like zigzags, but not really. Like, I mean, this is where your hair starts, so I don't know, this is just normally what I do. I don't even know why, but it looks okay, so I always do it. And the reason why I like drawing fringes so much is because they're like the easiest type to draw. Because after you got like this little thingy down, all you need to do is draw a top, and you can like do whatever you want with it. Like, you can make it like that, you can make it like that, you can make it like that. Like, you can do whatever. And for this one, I'm gonna go with a pretty toned down version, so I'll just draw a normal fringe. All right, and now that we have the bangs down, we can erase this. Oh my god, it was bothering me so much. But yeah, all right, on to the next one, which is a straight cut. So with straight cuts, once again, I'm gonna pinpoint the middle, which is like somewhere around there. You don't actually have to draw that, but yeah, I normally start off like how like straight cut bangs is like that, and then like that or whatever, right? So normally I start off with like this middle one, and instead of just going like that, I like to make a little side piece of hair there almost. Yeah, and then I start drawing the actual thing. So the key to drawing straight cuts is to not do this because that looks really bad. Hair has like edges, and hair isn't always literally in a straight cut like that. Yeah, so like I would suggest make them like a little bit scribbly, like not like this, but like adding a little like, you know, like stuff like that, it helps. And like these little edges, like it really helps. Like yeah, and then you know, normally I like to make these lines in the middle too. The main thing you gotta remember is where the hairline is and where the middle is, and then the rest of the hair just starts from there. So for the last one, the side swept bangs, where it starts is really up to you. But normally what I would say is that it would start at like the 1/3 line of the face. Like if you like if you split the face up into 3/4, it will like, if it's going like to our left, it would start there. If it's going to our right, it would start there, right? But yeah, like you don't have to follow that. So yeah, with side swept bangs, you have two options. You could go like the one where it just goes straight down like so, you know, and then like that, or you could make it go up and then to the side. If you go with the up and to the side kind of thing, make sure you do like that thing with like this part too, just because, you know, you should be able to see the hairline. But I'm not gonna do that with this character. I'm just gonna do a normal one. So yeah, you start off and kind of like the straight cut one, where I like to start, you know, with like this little thing. I like to do that with the side bangs too. So I have like, you know, a small strand first, and then I go ahead and draw the entire thing. And what I normally like to do is, you know how I like to do this thing, indicating where like, you know, the origin point is with here, like the same, it's the same thing here basically. It just makes the hair look a lot more natural if you add like those lines, and it makes the hair look more like strands than just, you know, a block of hair that's there. And with side swept bangs, normally I like to, you know, have it like come up a bit too. Alright, so now let's move on to how to draw the actual hair parts. I'm gonna cover in this tutorial how to draw tied up hair, and specifically in this case ponytails, curly hair, and straight hair. Okay guys, wow, my computer was being a little poo and just crashed on me, so I gotta redo this part again. But yeah, as you can see, I talked about the ponytail, but if you don't mind, I'll just like talk about it instead of you seeing how I did it. So pretty much the main thing with ponytail is that you gotta like remember that it's hair. Like I see so many people who draw like ponytails literally like for the hair part, they just do that. Like please don't do that, guys, please don't do that. Like you probably like, it's probably not like that badly drawn, but like hair is in strands, not blocks. And especially with ponytail, they are essentially strands of hair that are being held up by an elastic. So just make sure all the hair you're drawing is going in the direction of that, wherever that elastic is. And the bumps, and always add like a few bumps to it, because I just personally find that helps a lot with making it look more real than just, you know, like a block like that. And what I do is I would do stuff like this, where it kind of goes like that, and then the next one starts up a little like further out than this one, you know. So you know, that could be the type of bumps. Or you could do like this kind, where pretty much you have hair and it goes like up a bit, and it goes straight, and it goes up a bit. Yeah, I like to do that a lot. Yeah, and I just feel like that just makes it look a lot real. Like as you can see, I did like that type of bumps here too. And yeah, that's pretty much all I lost. I just talked about that. Like ponytails are rather straightforward. For like front view wise, I normally just, you know, like to, like if it's a high ponytail, I just like to, you know, make a little bump up here and then draw the hair coming down his or her shoulders. So yeah. Let's move on to curly hair now. I'll draw 2 types of curly hair that you can go with. So you can do the type that's straight first and then becomes curly. And with that one, it's fairly simple. Like, you just start off drawing, straight hair as you always would. But then once you get to the part, you make a little curl and then you connect that curl and then you twist. So that's one way of drawing it. Or you can go with the longer version where what I like to do is, you see where here it becomes like one line. You kind of pick it up where it left off. And so that's the longer type of curly hair. And also, whenever you have like strands like this, always draw little stuff like that, just to, like smooth it out a bit. So once again, it's strands, not blocks. Okay, so to start off, there are 2 types of curls. Like, we have the really like intense type of curling iron curl, and we have the wavy kind of curl. So once again, I'll use the 2 sides of hair to demonstrate that. On the left, I think I'll go with the more wavy kind. So with more wavy hair, it's like, essentially it's curves, except it's really long and nice and soft curves, like, and then like it will fan out a bit, and then it's just kind of like a really soft kind of wave kind of like thing. And what I like to do is, you see how it goes like this, right? I would go like that, and then I would do this trick. Well, not really a trick, but I do this, and then I will erase this part. Like, I don't know, it's a really weird thing almost, but like, I learned this from my favorite artist a while back, and it just stuck with me. Like, I love doing that. Like, you see how this makes it look like this piece of hair is just flowing to that. So like, I like to do this when I like find out I drew like a hair way too out of strand, and I want to bring it back into like the rest of the hair. And yeah, and with wavy hair, you just gotta remember that like don't make the waves go the same direction, because that's not how hair works. Make it like a bit different, like where it's going that way, maybe like make it go this way instead. Yeah, and let's move on to the right side, which will be the more curly type. So with the more curly type, it's essentially like that, except but basically with super curly hair, each curl has to connect to the next, and some of them have to cross over, and I'll kind of explain what I mean when I'm drawing. So like, you see how like curls, like it goes narrow at parts where it's farther away from me, and then it comes out, and then it always goes back into being narrow again, and then it will go back to being really broad again. Like, that is just pretty much how I draw my curly hair. Like, this probably isn't like the most realistic thing you'll ever see, but it works. And then you gotta cross them. You see, like the next strand can't be going in the same direction as that strand, because then there'll be like too much in unison, and it just doesn't look nice. Okay, now the last type is the straight hair. Okay, so straight hair is probably what I would consider the easiest, because it's pretty much just like how you draw straight bangs. Like, you just gotta remember the fact that hair is in strands and not blocks, and like, you need to show individual strands of hair, and that's essentially the key to drawing straight hair. Alright, so with straight hair, I normally do still like to make it, curl in a bit at certain parts, because it's just, I believe it's more natural for hair to act that way. You notice how I made all the hair strands come out from the hairline or where the origin point is? This is why I say, like, once you get hairlines, like, I mean, hair is really easy. It's just a bunch of lines coming out from the same point, right? Okay, but now if you want to draw like the really straight kind of hair, then I would suggest you do essentially the same technique I taught you there. So first, you know, like you would draw, you know, a strand like that, and then you would go down. Okay, now except what I would do is make it go in a direction. And straight hair is really easy. Like, just draw like lines going down and you got straight hair. And I think that's it. That's this tutorial. Okay, so walking away from this, I want you guys to remember 3 really important things, okay? Get a piece of paper and write it down. I'm just kidding, you don't have to. But pretty much, okay, number 1, I don't think I've emphasized this enough during the video, but always try to curve your lines a bit. Like, that is my secret, okay, to drawing hair. Like, I always try to make my lines curve a bit, like even if it's straight hair, like just a tiny bit of curve adds a lot more motion and dynamic to it. Yeah, and second important thing is the hairline. The hairline. Okay, I started this video off with talking about the hairline, so I will end it talking about the hairline. The hairline is so important. Like, as I've shown you in this video, once you find a hairline, you pretty much know how to draw hair. Like, just pretty much make all the lines direct from that point. There you have it. You have hair. Like, yeah. Okay, and number 3, I've said this so many times, hair are in strands, not blocks. So, like, please don't ever just draw, like, you know, smooth, or what you would call smooth hair again. Like, you gotta add some dynamic to it. Like, hair needs bumps, hair needs a lot of strands and lines, which is, like, as you can see, I like to draw a lot of lines on my hair. Like, it really just adds to it. Just remember that it's in strands, and you always gotta, like, indicate the lines and just don't make it too perfect, okay? And yeah, I think that's it. Thanks for watching, guys, as always. I hope this really helped. Please give us a thumbs up if you liked it, and remember to subscribe for more speed paints and tutorials in the future. Bye.